My name is Jill, and I'm sitting here with Faith Fuller, who is president and co-founder of CRR Global, to talk about a telecourse that Faith has created and will also be facilitating.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today.
So first of all, Faith, congratulations on creating this telecourse and for successfully delivering it several times already. This change management workshop in a box has become really popular.
Yeah, I think we're moving into our third and fourth sessions of this, so clearly it seems to have relevancy for people.
It certainly is timely. The telecourse is called Leapers, Bridge Builders, and Tradition Holders, which is a pretty intriguing name. What does it mean?
Well, it refers to different response styles to change. We found in the course of our coaching and consulting with different companies that teams have very different sorts of response styles. Some teams and some individuals are what we call leapers. In other words, they're excited about change or certain kinds of change and ready to get on board easily. And other individuals are what we call bridge builders. And those people are willing to make a change, but they really need to understand it well first. They may not be the first wave of adapters, but they, over time, they get the bugs out and they like to join on then. And then finally, there's a third group of people who are called tradition holders, and they also have a very important role to play. But their role is primarily to say no until you give me a really good reason to change. Why should I make this change? And they're very responsible about making sure that if that change is going to happen, that it's well handled in advance. So all three response styles are needed for successful change, and we think it's just a really useful model to use as people move into change.
So why did you develop this course? What was the impetus for developing the course?
Yeah, we had so many clients that were inundated with change, is the short answer. In fact, there was a big IBM study that also came out over the last few years that talked about how CEOs and other change agents were feeling very overwhelmed by the amount of change that they were experiencing, and they were also feeling very unprepared for that change. And in fact, we'll be going over some of that research in the course itself. But we wanted to develop a short, brief piece that would be very user-friendly with organizations experiencing change and gave a handy little model to help those clients understand better how change occurs, what are the ground conditions for change, and what can you expect from different responders to the change initiatives you're doing.
So who is this telecourse then designed for?
Yeah, so it's designed for anybody who's involved with groups or teams or community groups that are going through a lot of change. So coaches come, consultants often, we get a few therapists in, and often we get people in from organizations, CEOs, HR personnel, stuff like that. So anybody who is deeply involved in change in their life, either personal life or professional life.
Excellent, excellent. And do you need to have taken a course with CRR Global before, or is there a prerequisite, or is it open to all?
Actually, one of the great things about this course is that you don't have to have any background in ORSC. I think it's sometimes helpful to have a little bit more systems knowledge, but we designed this that you don't need to know anything special when you come in. You will, by the end of the course, have a much better idea about how systems work and how teams and organizations cross edges. But to come on in, you don't need to know a thing about ORSC.
And is this helpful for someone who has already taken all of the ORSC courses or is already certified by CRR Global?
Yeah, that's a great question. Here's the thing, is that the material we present in this little course is not covered in any of the ORSC courses or in certification. I believe we reference it. The response styles I think are referenced in some of the courses and in some of the manuals and certification. But this particular material isn't taught anywhere else except in this course. So people who've done ORSC and certification, it's new material for them as well.
That's great. And it's ICF accredited?
It is, yeah. So if you take this course, you will get 6 CCEs, And 4.5 of those are core competencies, and the other 1.5 are resource development. So if you need CEUs, this is a good place to get them.
That's great. That's great. So what can a person expect as a participant in this telecourse? What will they learn and walk away with?
Well, like all ORSC courses, it's designed to be experiential. So the courses, the feel of the course, we try to make as close as possible to the classroom in the sense of there's a little bit of lecture, but it's mostly experiential learning. So there are exercises they'll be part of, and perhaps one of the most important things is when you come into the course, we feel that anybody who teaches a course should have experienced it first. So anybody who comes into this course will first experience going through it. What's it like to be in the course? And then the other part of the course has to do with, now that you've experienced it, how do you actually lead a team or an organization through this work? So lots of different kinds of modalities, from small group, large group, polling, stuff like that. And we try to make it as intimate and as interactive as possible.
I think it's really terrific that that people who participate in this course actually get to experience change as a participant, and I think that would make you much more effective as a workshop facilitator.
Well, we think so. Plus, it's how we like to roll in terms of our style in teaching. So, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about format. So this is a 3-module telecourse, and it's going to be held on the Zoom platform. And each module is 2 hours in length and will be held on 3 consecutive days of the week, once over a 3-week period. Attendance is limited to 24 people. I think you had mentioned an intimate experience, so I think 24 sounds like a good number.
That's about as many as we can sort of all see on Zoom, and we want you to be able to see one another while you're going through it. So yes, it's usually limited to about 24.
That makes good sense. So as I mentioned, so it's going to be held it's held 3 times on 3 different dates. What if somebody can't make all the dates or times?
Well, thanks for bringing that up, because that's a really important thing. This is an ICF accredited course, and what that means is that you basically can't miss too much of the course, or we can't accredit you. And that's also important to CRR Global, because we have a stake in integrity for the leaders that we send out there in the world, and we don't want you to go out there and teach it if you haven't been really thoroughly trained. So you need to attend all these calls. There are recordings of the calls, but you only get the recording if you've attended the calls, so you can go back and see them. But we need your active live participation on the call. So check and make sure those dates will work for you before you register.
Excellent. So, and apart from the virtual instruction, what else is included in the course?
Well, when you leave the course, we are designing it that you will be able to actually lead a Leapers, Bridge Builder, and Tradition Holder workshop on your own with a team or organization. And we've designed the course so that you are leading that course live. So this isn't a course that we'll be training you to do virtually. Our expectation is you'll do it live with a active group. By the way, it doesn't have to be a team. It could be a public workshop, for that matter. People don't have to be related to make sense of it. But at the end of that, you should have everything you need to lead that workshop. That'll include slides and a kit with materials in it, including your laminates and your participant workbooks and your facilitator timeline. Anything you would need to feel comfortable to run that course, you'll have by the end of the 3rd call.
Excellent, excellent. So people can register for this telecourse on the CRR Global website. All you have to do is just type in crrglobal.com/leapers. And I really want to thank you for this great information, Faith. I do want to do a quick recap. So Leapers, Bridge Builders, and Tradition Holders is a 3-module telecourse designed to support you in delivering an effective change management workshop experience for your clients. There is no prerequisite. The program includes 6 hours of virtual class time, a certificate of completion, 6 ICF CCEs, a facilitator's guide, and 5 participant manuals to get you started. So you have everything you need to deliver an interactive change management workshop.
Sounds good to me. That's about right.
That sounds good to me too. Space is limited to 24 people. And to learn more or to register, go to crrglobal.com/leapers or call 707-534-3239 or email info@crrglobal.com. Thanks again, Faith.
Absolutely, and thanks everybody out there who took the time to listen in. Hope to hear you on one of our calls soon.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.